SIL level is a measurement of safety for your safety system. And it always has two aspects, or two viewpoints. One is the end user. He tells you how much SIL he needs. And the other aspect is the people who build the safety system, because they need to build it according to that SIL level. Now, the SIL level is a measurement for how well the safety system performs, or the safety function. The higher the risks, the better it needs to perform. The lower the probability of failure on demand, as they call it. Now, it's much easier to express it in a risk reduction. A SIL 4 system, the best SIL 4 system, reduces your risks with 100,000 times. A bad SIL 1 system, only 10 times. So you can understand that building a SIL 4 system is much more difficult than building a SIL 1 system. Now, the end users, they're using this because they need safety availability. So that means that if safety is needed, this system works. But on the other hand, the safety system itself can fail. And if it fails, it trips the plant. And that's what end users don't want, because when it trips the plant, they can't produce. And at the moment, there is really not a good measure on how you can measure process availability. Does the safety function trip my plant without the process being upset? And that's what an end user doesn't want. He wants safety, but he does not want unnecessary safety. We developed a concept which we call the Spurious Trip Level. And we call it this way to make it in sync with the safety integrity level. What does the Spurious Trip Level do? The Spurious Trip Level tells you something about how often or how little it will trip your plant unnecessarily. And the higher the STL, the less often it will do that. So this is a measure that end users can use where in the future they say, well, I need this much safety, but when you build this safety system, I want you to make sure that the spurious trips from your safety system are this low. And this is what they can express in the spurious trip level. So a spurious trip level of 4 could, for example, reduce your spurious trips with a factor of 100,000. So it's very comparable to the SIL level concept in understanding, but it's completely the opposite. The big problem, of course, that end users have is how much STL do I need? Well, that's a question only they can answer. And I made over here in this part of the table, I made an example. So depending on how, let's say, how rich you are as a company, maybe if you say the damage is between 100,000 euros and 200,000 euros, well, then I want to protect it with the STL1. If the spurious trip costs me 200 to 500,000 euros, I protect it with the STL2. And this is how they could set it up for their own facilities. And in the future, probably they will do that and specify next to the SIL level of a function also the STL level.